Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to simplify exponential expression using the power rule and the power of a product rule for exponents. Please remember that in this formula that we have right here, we actually have combined the power rule and the power of a product rule for exponents. Please notice that if we have a raised to the power h, b raised to the power k, quantity raised to the power m, this means that this m and the exponent of each of the terms inside this parenthesis here will be multiplied together, and that's how we got a raised to the power h and m. So this means that this h and m will be multiplied together, and this m and k will be multiplied together, and that's how we got a raised to the power h times m times b raised to the power k times m. To better understand this rule right here, let's have some examples. So we're going to take this first example right here. So let's simplify this 5y squared raised to the power 3. So we are not overwhelmed with all of these exponents right here. Let's cover this parentheses and third power. So this is 5y squared. So we can go ahead and expand this. So 5y squared means that's gonna be 5. And then there are two y's, y and y. Now, if we look at this one here, it says that it is raised to the power 3. This means that we are going to create 3 of these. So this 5y squared, we are going to create 3 of these, and that's what we mean by raised to the power 3. So in this case right here, I'm going to create 3 of this 5y and y. Again, this is actually the expanded version of this expression we have right there. So we have a 5y squared, and we're going to do 3 of them. The second step is to multiply the coefficients. So in this case right here, we are going to multiply these coefficients that we have. So these numbers that we have here, again, coefficient is the number before the variable. Again, we are going to multiply them. So I'm just going to go ahead and label that up here. So that means that is 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. Now, the third step is to count or add like variables. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there are 6 y's. So I'm going to go ahead and write 125y to the 6th power. And this is the simplified version of this exponential expression that we have up there. Now let's have the second method. So for the second method, we're going to use the combination of both power rule and the power of a product rule for exponents. So we're gonna go ahead and write it out. Now, we remember that this 5 here has an invisible exponent of 1. So it has an invisible exponent of 1. So what we do is we are going to multiply these two exponents, the 1 and the 3, and we're going to multiply the 2 and the 3. Again, we are going to multiply the exponent. So this comes out 5. We're just going to go ahead and write 5. And then we have 1 times 3 is 3. And then we have y raised to the power 2 times 3 is 6. So then we can go ahead and simplify this. Actually, this comes out 5 to the third power means we're going to have 5 times 5 times 5. So there's 3 of them. And then we write y to the 6th. So 5 times 5 is 25. 25 times 5 is 125. And then that is y to the 6th power. So again, this is the simplified version of this expression that we have up there. Notice that both methods give the same answer, which means that it doesn't matter which method you use, you still get the same answer. At this time, I would encourage you to pause this video and try this problem out on your own. And when you're done, unpause it and check your answer. Okay, so we go over the problem here. Again, we are going to use two methods for this so that we can simplify this. And then again, we have method 1 right here. And then we're going to have method 2 on the right. So then we start with the first method. We remember that we cover, so that we don't get overwhelmed with all of these exponents, we can cover the parentheses and the outside exponents. That means that we are actually having 4x and 3y's. So we can go ahead and use the first step. We're supposed to write it out and expand each term. So that would be 4, 1x and 3y's. So that is that's actually what's inside the parentheses. Now, it says that we are supposed to come up with 2 of these. So we are going to go ahead and write another expression similar to this. And because we're supposed to have 2 of them, so that is 4x, y, and y. So then the second step is to multiply the coefficient. So the coefficient that we have here would be 4 and 4. So we're going to multiply them. So again, I'm going to label the word multiply here so we know what operation to use. So 4 times 4 is 16. And then the third step is to count or add like variables. So we count the x's. So there's like 1, 2. So there's 2 x's. So I can go ahead and write x squared. And then we count the y's. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 y's. So I go ahead and write y to the 6th power. So this is the simplified version of this expression that we have up there. Now let's have the second method. So for the second method, I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite it. Again, we remember that this 4 has an invisible exponent of 1. So then we go ahead and multiply the 2 to each of the exponents. Again, this one also has, this x is also an invisible 1 right there. So we're going to multiply the 2 to each of them. So again, I will label this as multiply. And again, this is method 2. So we can go ahead and rewrite this as 4 raised to the power 1 times 2 is 2. X raised to the power 1 times 2 is 2. Y raised to the power 3 times 2 is 6. So then 4 squared means 4 times 4. So we're going to multiply 4 twice. Then we have an x squared and then y to the 6. So 4 times 4 is 16. And so we get an x squared and y to the 6th. So this is the simplified version of this expression that we have up there. Again, notice that they both get the same answer. Now let's have the next example right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set this up. Okay, so we can simplify this using the first method by covering the parentheses so we're not overwhelmed with all of the exponents that we have right there. So we are going to expand this. That's 2. There are 4 x's and 2 y's. So again, that would be 2. And then there are 4 x's and then 2 y's. So that is the ones inside the parentheses. Now it says that it is raised to the power 3. That means we're going to create 3 of these. So I'm just going to go ahead and write it down here. So that's 4 x's and then 2 y's. And then I will write another one because there's like 3 sets of these. Okay, so the next step that we're going to do is to multiply the coefficients. So the coefficients that we have here is 2. So we're going to multiply these 3 2's right here. So again, I will label this as multiply so we know what operation to use. That means 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So I'm just going to go ahead and write 8 here. And then we count all the x's. The next step is to count or add like variables. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that is x, 12 x's. And then the y's, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are 6 y's. So this is the simplified version of this exponential expression that we have up there. Now we can use method 2 here. So I'm just going to go ahead and rewrite this. Okay, we remember that this 2 has an invisible exponent of 1. So that we are supposed to multiply the 3 to each of the exponents inside the parentheses. So this would come out 2 raised to the power 1 times 3 is 3. X to the power 4 times 3 is 12. Y to the power 2 times 3 is 6. 2 to the third means 2 times 2 times 2. Again, we have x to the 12 and y to the 6. So 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 2 is 8. And then that is x to the 12 and y to the 6th. So this is the simplified version of this expression that we have up there. Did you get the same answers as this? Good. Perfect. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe for more math videos. See ya!